a couple of days before Thanksgiving. Thought I'd go over some of the mods that I've made in the last 3 to 4 years and let you know how they've worked out. I've made close to 80 mods on my RV here, so I'm going to spare you today and only cover the top 10 on the outside of the unit. Yeah, it's really important to keep your chassis battery charged up when you're not using it or driving it or in storage. So I added the Trik-L Start right here under the passenger seat quite a while ago, and it's worked flawlessly, and I never have trouble with the coach battery running down. My original batteries lasted me only about 1.5 years before they died, so I replaced them with 2 6-volt batteries from Costco, and they've been working great. I mean, they have more capacity and they hold their charge overnight no problem. I'm even able to run the microwave or whatever else I need, you know, TV, lights, furnace. The only problem I've had with the golf cart batteries is they have kind of a high resistance and the voltage drops pretty low when I'm running the microwave. The only other drawback to the 6-volt batteries, you do have to add water a couple times a year. Just want to keep the water level over those battery plates. It's no big deal really, just it's always good to take a look at them anyway to see how they're doing. Someday I'll probably replace these with lithium, but I'll have to wait for the price to come down first. We use the microwave a lot, and adding this 2 kilowatt inverter has really been really important to us. We don't go to many campgrounds, do a lot of boondocking, so it's always nice to have AC power. Of course, this is one of the more complicated upgrades. I rewired so all the outlets are the same, and they can all work off the inverter or shore power. Of course, not only was this complicated, I did blow the inverter a couple of times. To start out, it took me about 8 weeks to figure out how to get some relays to switch the converter out, the neutrals, the grounds, the hot leads, all that kind of stuff, and worked all this out. So I finally got it working. The inverter died on the way coming back from Alaska. I'm not going to give up, so 3rd time's the charm. So now, planning on changing this. So that was about 1 year ago, and since then the inverter's been working great. I haven't had any problems with it at all, so it's been very reliable. I added these metal Borg valve stems. That allows me to check the air pressure in the inside dualies, and it's much easier. It's really hard without these. So anyway, they've been working out great. Soft water keeps everything much cleaner, whether it's the shower, the sinks, or even the water heater. I've never had to drain that because there's no scale in it. It's worked great. I've only had to recharge it once or twice since I've had it. As far as suspension mods go, Hellwig Sway Bar has been really good for me and haven't had any troubles with that. The Koenig shocks I put on I think are a little too weak, so I'll probably end up changing those to the Fox shocks. I think they're a lot better. And as far as the Sumos go, yeah, I took the ones off the front because the ride was just too hard in the front end. Kept getting really hard shocks going over those expansion joints. And once I get the Fox shocks, I'll be taking the rear Sumos off also, so they're not necessary, and they just give a harder ride. Yeah, my bike rack is working great too. This is only set up for one bike, but that's all I have. And yeah, as a matter of fact, I was out riding my e-bike this morning and went through some high water. It's a little bit of a high tide, but anyway, it worked fine. Well, might as well try it. It can't be too bad. Yeah, the rack itself is very strong, lightweight, and if you don't have fenders, it works great. Yeah. You see here, there's nothing to plug in. Don't need to plug in my cord at all because I have an automatic transfer switch, and that works great for automatically switching between the shore power and the generator. Never had a problem with it. My 2 solar panels up here on the roof are working great. This is the original 100 water and the 175 watt I added in. Connections have been fine. The new collector panel is working great too. Yeah, the MaxxAir Fan works great. A lot of times I just leave it up to give a little ventilation in it, and even in the rain, it doesn't leak any water inside, so that's all working great. All these mods have really worked out great. They've been very reliable and very useful on the way. As far as which ones are my favorites, it's kind of hard to pick. I use them all and I really like them all. Maybe the automatic transfer switch was something you didn't have to have, but it sure is convenient in case it's bad weather, not having to run outside, plug in the generator. Another quick update on my new Gillis tires. They've been running great. Made an 8,000 mile trip and they're wearing evenly, so I don't need another alignment. And I should expect to get over 50,000 miles on them, so that's sweet. The only small issue I had was the FUMO valve, the oil drain valve I put on. Last time I changed my oil, I added in this little FUMO valve. Anyway, it does make it easier to change your oil, but after it started leaking a little bit and dripping a little bit on my friend's driveway, yeah, I don't really recommend it. I think just the regular plug would work fine. And of course, the cab cover there scratched up the paint a little bit when I got some apparently metal filings on the magnets. Anyway, when you open the door, it kind of pulls that across and it scratched it up a little bit. So that's it from Grandpa Ron. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on the road.